people talk about reacting versus regulating like it's some kind of crystal clear once you know situation. Like one morning you wake up healed, sip your water, and then suddenly every response you have is calm, measured, and emotionally enlightened. But that's not how this works. If you're ever sitting there thinking, am I reacting or regulating right now? There's a solid chance that you're probably reacting. And that doesn't mean that you're broken, it just means that you have a nervous system. Regulation isn't always a personality upgrade. It's not something that you can unlock after enough journaling. It's a skill, and you usually have to practice it in the exact moments that your body would rather go full on chaos mode. Reacting is quick and it's automatic. It doesn't consult your future self. It doesn't ask, is this going to cost me later? It just moves. Whereas regulation feels slow, almost annoyingly slow. It looks like taking a pause when you really want to clap back, breathing when you want to explode, sitting in the discomfort instead of dumping it onto someone else. At first, regulation can even feel like it's wrong. Your body's so used to certain patterns that when you interrupt them, it's uncomfortable. And reacting feels justified. It feels like you're standing up for yourself or telling the truth, matching energy. But if standing up for yourself turns into you having to raise your voice or sending late night essay texts, replying to arguments for 3 days, or polling your friends for validation, that's not regulation. That's adrenaline. Regulation doesn't give you that dramatic, satisfying rush because it's grounded and it's steady. Sometimes it's a little boring, and boring is not a flaw. It just means that your nervous system isn't on fire. Another big clue is that reacting wants an audience. It wants witnesses. It needs witnesses. It wants the agreement. Regulation doesn't need you to have a jury. You can be misunderstood and still be okay with it. You don't feel compelled to have to correct the narrative immediately. You can sit with the discomfort without having to recruit backup. Reacting is usually about being right, whereas regulation is about staying safe and steady. Reacting says that this needs to be handled right now, whereas regulation says, let me calm down first, let me get grounded. If your jaw's tight, your heart's racing, and your body feels charged, that's not you operating in clarity, that's the activation. And let's talk about that phrase, well, I was just being honest. Yeah, sometimes that's true. Sometimes it's dysregulation with a good vocabulary. Regulation doesn't mean lying or swallowing the truth. It just respects the timing of the truth coming out. Not every true thought needs to be delivered immediately or harshly or used as a weapon. A huge sign that you're reacting is that panicky feeling that if you don't respond right now, you're going to lose control of the situation. Reacting thinks that you taking a minute to pause is somehow you being weak. Regulation knows that pauses are your true power because silence is data, and not every moment requires you to perform. If you notice the same conflict playing out in different relationships or connections with people, that doesn't mean you have bad luck. That's just a pattern that your nervous system has grown to become comfortable with. Reacting keeps that cycle alive, whereas regulation disrupts it and says, you know what? I'm not going to participate in conversations that require me to completely abandon myself. It stops explaining to people who are just simply committed to misunderstanding you. Reacting is loud and consuming.